Hi, I'm making this video because, as many of you know, ABFM is holding a fundraiser to cover the cost of current and ongoing activism. So far, a lot of effort has gone into pushing discussions of this human rights movement from the fringe out into the mainstream, and some of these issues are starting to be addressed. But those of you who have ever mentioned men's human rights in mixed company know that addressing the abuses of our fathers, our brothers, and our sons meets with strong opposition. ABFM has had some pretty important successes in the past year, like in the case of Gordon Smith. Mr. Smith was arrested 8 times on fraudulent charges from his ex-spouse. He was even forced to wear a tracking device without having been convicted of any crime. Now, thanks in large part to work from ABFM activists, Mr. Smith is free, and all of the fraudulent charges have been dropped. Also in the case of Vladek Filler, Mr. Filler was tormented by a corrupt prosecutor. This corrupt lawyer used Filler's mentally ill spouse to launch repeated prosecutions with no evidence. The lawyer's misconduct was so excessive that the first prosecution was thrown out of court altogether. Filler was driven to file for divorce by his partner's repeated physical abuse of their small children. The corrupt prosecutor relentlessly pursued the children's father without evidence. She even went so far as to tamper with witnesses and suppress evidence proving his innocence. Now, after a year-long campaign from ABFM, that assistant DA is under investigation and being evaluated for discipline by the State Bar Association. ABFM is right now working on behalf of 2 small children and their father, Lieutenant Colonel Joel Kirk, a decorated Navy combat pilot who is now struggling to protect his 2 small children from the ongoing physical abuse and endangerment from his mentally ill former spouse. The family court judge has given that abusing ex-spouse custody of those children, reversing a previous judge's decision in full knowledge of past and ongoing physical abuse of those 2 small children, separating them from their father, with whom they were secure and safe and happy. We're working hard to raise hell to have this irresponsible family court judge investigated. Putting a public spotlight on these abuses and raising a ruckus sufficient to protect children and their parent abused by the misconduct and indifference of public officials is what ABFM activists do. But we do need your help. In a court system staffed by indifferent bureaucrats, those children need your help. So I'm reaching out to all of you and asking you to click the PayPal link in the low bar and contribute what you can. Of course, a large contribution goes a long way, but so do recurring smaller contributions. Donations are always welcome, but we're asking you to give now and allow us to budget and decide who we can help in the upcoming year. Your consideration is greatly appreciated.